Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Turn me up, turn me up. Yes, sir.
Let's get
Yes,
it.
sir. I'm live. We got some heat. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me bring up mine. Dun, 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 dun. Turn us up real quick, yo. You heard. You already know, man. I am K.
I'm Chaz.
And we are Culture Content,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Got you with another one of episodes, some more fire, some more classic topics. Have some fun with it, talk our best and all that. So, let's get into it, man. You feeling good today?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. It's spring break, so fortunate that you do have a job and you're able to have paid time off from that job as well. So a lot of people
paid time
don't.
on PTO.
Yeah, a lot of people are not accustomed to having that, and you kind of gotta anytime you work is when you get paid. So, definitely grateful for the opportunity to be able to get paid while not working. So I'm gonna enjoy my time.
For sure,
Enjoy the
for
day. It's
sure.
beautiful outside. So
That
spring
part,
is here, man.
That part, you know what I mean? It is beautiful outside. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
You feel me?
You know what I mean? That is a gem, bro. Like, just to have PTO time and just to be able to take that time off. Most importantly, like, I think you got, like, teachers have, granted, that territory comes with a lot more than just time off, right? But if I wanted to be a teacher for anything, it was just to have the summers off. In order to make my own schedule type of thing. Like, we know somebody who's a teacher who works like half the year, and he don't work more than half the year, like, because he doesn't have to. And the crazy thing is, shout out to our man Jonathan, sex ed teacher, you know what I mean? Like, and you work half the year, and you only, what? You work half the year and you teach sex. It's just like, can't go wrong. You know what I mean? So, it's just a beautiful feeling. So, blessings and shout out to everybody getting to the bag, all the working folks out there. And it's Friday. And I think is it a pay week or is that next week? No, next week is a pay week. But nonetheless, it's still a good Friday. You know what I'm saying? It's Good Friday at that. So, every day is a good day though. So Mondays too, man. You just gotta. It's all about perception at the end of the day. So,
Perception is key.
Perception is key. That's a fact. I don't got my bracelet on, but you know
where that came from.
You know where that came. Yeah, I look down like, oh, that's not on my wrist today. But yeah, start it off, man.
We're gonna get to it. So basically, the NBA playoffs are starting. I think most teams have about 5 games left in the season, and a lot of teams' seeding has been decided, or it's not really going to change much. So we're gonna start with the Eastern Conference. The number 1 seed is the Detroit Pistons. I feel like they had a really good year, and kind of ending on a kind of a sour note because Cade is injured, but they said he said he basically had a collapsed lung. So that's more than the rare injuries for an athlete. But I think a couple people did have it before, like CJ McCollum, and they was able to come back into the frame within a couple of weeks. So hopefully he's able to come back healthy, and Detroit can make some noise in the Eastern Conference. The 2 seed is Boston, who has basically over-exceeded their expectations. A lot of people thought they was going to be...
Jaylen Brown.
Word.
Jaylen Brown, he carried that team all year, bro.
Yeah.
And he carried it, and Tatum is back. People been saying Tatum is soft, but Tatum is nice, man.
I like Tatum, and I like Jaylen Brown too, but I feel like this was the opportunity for him to show that this is his team.
Why he got that contract.
You feel me?
Yeah,
exactly. He the first one to get that $300 million contract.
Yeah.
People forget. And then, kind of like shun him, and, the stuff happened with the Olympics and, Nike and him calling out Nike and whatnot. So, shouts out to him, basically. He got them rolling. The 3 seed is the Knicks. 4 is the Cavs.
Let's go Knicks.
5 is the Hawks. 6 is Philly, and then in the play-in position you got Toronto, Charlotte, Orlando, and Miami. Me personally, I think the team that's gonna probably come out the East is either gonna be New York or Boston.
Yeah,
What
that's
you
gonna
think?
go. I mean, I agree. I'm going with New York to take the Eastern Conference Finals, of course. But yeah, I mean, it's not often that we get to say, yeah, yo, go Knicks in the playoffs. You know what I
Right.
mean? So anytime we in there right now is
Gotta show
go
love.
go Knicks, nigga.
Facts.
It's even New York or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Pittsburgh. You ain't got a team, so but
It's
it,
all
it
love
is what
still.
it is,
Yeah,
man. Gotta root for the hometown.
for
So
sure.
yeah, that's a good lineup. I just don't like that the baby. I just seen him at a video of him at the Charlotte and Knicks game, and Charlotte ended up winning that game nonetheless. But it was just like, yo, he was going mad hard talking to Knicks fans and
He from Charlotte
whatnot.
though, you know that, right?
I know, but like
Say he's doing a little too much.
he's doing too much. Like y'all in the play-ins, bro. You're not even in the playoffs. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like he was going mad hard. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
they won that game. The Knicks didn't need to win that game.
Nah,
Like,
Facts.
like, yeah, y'all still scrambling and scraping at the bottom of the barrel. That was some Diddy shit. Pause. So I don't even know why I said that.
¿Qué pasó?
That was wicked. That was wicked. Got to move on. Nonetheless, though, but yeah, he was just doing too much in the crowd, talking about Knicks fans. I'm like, you're not even in the playoffs yet. Like, calm down, bro.
Cálmate.
Like, you're
Cálmate.
doing too much, bro. Sit down.
I mean,
bro.
the Hornets did had one of the best 40-game stretches. Only team that had a better 40-game stretch than them is the Spurs. So we're gonna get to the Western Conference real quick. Western Conference. The number 1 seed right now is OKC. Number 2 seed is San Antonio. 3 is the Lakers. 4 is Denver. 5 is the Rockets. 6 is Minnesota. And in the play-ins, if the season started now, it'll be Suns at 7, Blazers at 8, Clippers at 9, and 10 is the Warriors. So for me personally, I feel like the most intriguing matchup, those 4 and 5 and 3 and 6 matchups is going to be real critical because that's going to really, when it comes to playoffs, the matchups really mean a lot. Like a team could really be a really good team in the regular season, and they have a bad matchup in the playoffs, and that all the stuff that they thought they was gonna accomplish, it goes out the window. So the 4 and 5 seed, that's the Denver versus Houston. That's a goodie.
Denver's
and-
winning
and-
that.
and number one.
In my mind, expected to win that.
You know, I think Denver is expected to win it, but you can't really count out a KD team, right? And then that 3 and 6 matchup, you got the Lakers
Yo,
versus Minnesota.
Can I say this? And I've been feeling this in my heart for a couple years now, bro. But KD is not. He's a shooter for real, right? But he's not that guy, bro.
He's not that guy.
He's not that guy. Bro.
You mean like in life or just the last couple of years?
I just mean like as far as taking your team to the playoffs and winning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You mean the last couple of years or like ever?
I mean, like, think about it, right? You had Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and Westbrook when he started his career, right?
Okay.
He was there for like 7, 8 years.
Who?
And then
KD?
KD, right? Granted, it was a lot of organization stuff going on, but then you blow the lead to LeBron in that series, or I think it was Curry, whatever the case is. right?
They lost to Curry,
Yeah, like
and then he went to the Golden State. after that.
you fumbled that. Then you went to Golden State. Who did Golden State already have? You had Curry.
They had a
you
nice team. They had a 73 and 9 team.
You had, without a doubt, this is not even an argument. You had 2 of the best shooters in the league, or that we've ever seen in our generation, for real. And you got Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, right? So you got 2 niggas on the wing already. Your 2 guards is already like shooting out the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like from anywhere. And if one don't heat up, the other will. Like it was just a straight dynamic. Now, granted, KD is always gonna be hot. You know, like that's just what he do. Especially if he's open. So it's only 5 people on the court, bro. So if Curry's running 100 miles on the court already, boom, he's gonna either get the ball, pass it to Klay, boom. If Clay's open, or even if the defense does rebound or defense does get back, like you still got one more pass, and that's to KD. When you get that third, even or fourth pass, because like if Draymond got the ball and he's walking it down, that's four niggas you gotta guard. You know what I mean? And then Draymond Green might not be a shooter, but he's damn sure a hell of a passer. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta pick Draymond up for the passing. But then you got so many options, and they had Livingston. They just had Iguodala. So that made him look nicer than what he really was, bro. Like he was getting all the open shots after the rotation, like 2, 3, and then maybe 4 like passes. The defense is not gonna recover. You're gonna hit those. But then he went to Brooklyn, fumbled Brooklyn, had his foot on the line, lost that series. Then he's in Houston. He's just I just hate to
He
say
went to
it,
Phoenix
bro.
first, but then he went
He
to
went to
Houston.
Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix didn't do anything with Phoenix. Like that was a bust. I was looking forward to that. That was that. Oh yeah, Brooklyn and then Phoenix. That was trash, and then went to Houston. Like and then cried about being in Phoenix. Like bro, like nah, man. Kobe stayed with his team. Curry stayed with his team and built around that and went to the chip. Like I think it's just a different breed, bro. But I dragged that, but that was my
Yeah,
whole
that took a
point.
turn. But I'll say in his defense, similar to like LeBron. So I didn't agree with him going to
Miami.
Golden State. Just the same way I didn't agree with LeBron going to Golden State. I mean, going to Miami. But I understand. So for the Thunder, right? We see the Thunder now. Thunder always been a really good team to draft good players, right?
Yeah.
They didn't want to pay James Harden an extra $3 million after they just paid Serge Ibaka and KD was paid, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they picked kind of Serge Ibaka over James Harden, and they didn't want to go over the luxury tax because they all small market team. And then, if you win a championship, obviously you get more money, and you can kind of justify why you spent this money.
Mm-hmm.
So they did leave. They did let go of James Harden, but they still had a chance to make it. But the way KD explained it, They didn't really surround him with skilled players that can do multiple things. You had one person that could probably just dunk. You got one person that might could just do one thing. With him, you didn't surround him with those people because you could say the same thing with Miami, with Cleveland. Dan Gilbert, the owner of Cleveland, did not want to put any good roster around LeBron. LeBron was there for 7 years before he went to Miami.
Yeah.
He
yeah.
did not he had agent players, people that really couldn't get LeBron where he needed to be at that time. So LeBron went to Miami and basically essentially created like a cheat code. You know what I'm saying? But like I look at it like this: if a team is not putting the good pieces around in order to be successful for your star, then you're gonna have to seek options otherwise. You may not agree with how they do it, but you can understand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I didn't agree with him going to Golden State for sure because that was too much. They was a 73-9 win team. You know what I'm saying?
73-9.
73-9. But they lost in the finals. But nevertheless, like they was 73-9 and they didn't need basically a top 5 player on their team the next year. They didn't need that. But they did it, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But I look at this season now. I'm really interested to see what the Spurs do, obviously. Spurs came from a 34-win season last year. Wemby's healthy. Everybody's healthy. And Wendy's making a case for MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Most Improved in 1 year. So he's definitely probably going to get Defensive Player of the Year for sure. And it's between him and Shea for the MVP. So I'm really excited to see what the Spurs do in the playoffs. They don't have a lot of veteran leadership, quote unquote, or playoff experience, but they do have people on that squad that can win. Or that has been winners in some other aspect. They have some people that played in the playoffs before. They had some people that won national championships. So I like what they got going on down there in San Antonio, and I'm excited as a Spurs fan that's been a Spurs fan for 20, 30 years to see this new generation of the system on how we doing, and it's still obviously heavily influenced by the one and only Greg Popovich. So shouts out to the Spurs. Looking forward to NBA playoffs, which should be starting in 2 weeks. All right. Let's get to something a little bit more different. So I've been hearing this thing that women are saying we are in a sassy man apocalypse.
Oh man, here we go.
Sassy man apocalypse. So,
Oh man.
what do you think about that rhetoric?
Any woman that's saying that's probably been hurt, probably picked all the wrong guys in her life, and just like is just emotionally disturbed. Like they took one on the chin a couple times. You feel me? And now like this is where they at. So I will say, though, like, as far as the men that they're dealing with, though, but I will say, as far as culture goes, like, there's definitely like a lot of celebrities or like people you see on TV, especially male figures, or not even figures, just males, music artists that like wear handbags. People wearing dress. I think Don Cheadle just wore a dress.
Don Cheadle?
Yeah, I think Don Cheadle was just in a dress not too long ago.
Don Cheadle?
Mm-hmm. There's a couple of them. Who else was in a dress? Jaden Smith. That'd be Will Smith. He probably wasn't, but I'm just throwing him in there. But Little Uzi Vert, and or they like wearing skirts and or painting their nails and weird stuff like that. So as far as that goes, like, yeah, I mean, those aren't examples of men though that I would say like, yo, those are male role models that you should follow in the first place. But because they're celebrities, people teeter-totter the two. The lines blur, so that's a male role model. You're a public figure, so you got to be a role model to these youngest kids and whatnot. And it's just like, yeah, I just be like, yo, raise your kids. Don't let the TV raise your kids, man, because then they become sassy. And then, it's just, I don't know. I don't believe it. None of the dudes that I'm with is sassy. The people that I know that are gay, they're just gay. Like I don't care. Like
I think sometimes with like people put too much emphasis in like somebody else's sexual orientation. Like if you gay but you're a good person,
I don't care.
What the only
don't
thing
make no passes at me.
Yeah, like that's the only thing. You feel me? Like I ain't got no.
We keep a mutual line of respect.
Yeah, that's just what it comes down to. Yeah, we ain't gonna get too much in that. But I feel like when they was saying basically we on a sassy man apocalypse, it's because men are waking up to some of the fucking games that women been playing. Sometimes women do a lot of like manipulative stuff to force you to do things. Or a real man would do this, or a real man would do that, and like I don't like that rhetoric. And it's not all women, so I'm not bashing all women at all. It's definitely some real solid women that's out there that will hold it down like a wave cap for theyself or for their man or for their family. So we're not saying this is a knock to all women, but the women that are saying it is mainly because men have woken up to the bullshit they've been doing, and therefore, you're getting called sassy because you're not following whatever they want to do. But then there's a flip side of what they were saying. It's a broke bitch apocalypse. Now, I see that too, because the same women that's arguing for you to do X, Y, and Z can't do it for themselves.
Right.
You run around saying...
Never been all of these fancy restaurants, Eddie V's, whatever.
You know what I'm saying? So you run around saying, oh, this person ain't doing this for me, this, that, ain't doing this for me. The ones that are doing it for themselves, they don't need to proclaim anybody's doing anything or not for them or are for them. The real boss women that's doing stuff, they don't need to get on a megaphone and say, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. They just doing it. The ones, they really just move in silence. So the ones that's loud, those are the ones that's not really getting it. You know what I'm saying? That goes for men too. You know what I'm saying? The men that's loud, that's talking all this and boasting their chest about all this accomplishments and shit.
All of the men that's talk about it is usually the flamboyant ones, and all the women that's talk about it are usually the sassy ones projecting their own insecurities.
Yeah.
That's just it.
No, it's facts.
Projected. That's it. That's just it, projecting because I don't see that. Like I will say in a sense that like I do believe. I think I've said this before, and I believe absolutely I've said this before, which is like we live in a matriarch society where people think that women are supposed to run everything. And I know this may rub people the wrong way or whatever the case is, but I don't think it should be like that. I think it should be a men-led society, meaning men have to step up and actually lead the families, the world. Not that women can't be in their own right and position, but ultimately like men should lead. Men should be in a position of power because like that's how God intended it to be. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying like, oh, we got to go back to old times. Like, no, like any real married couple would, or any real married woman would tell you, like, yo, I follow my husband follows God. Like, and then we gotta take the man and the husband. I mean, the man and the wife, they take care of the kids. Like, that's just the order of life for real. But we just got, and like, yeah, like society has like pitted men against women and put women in a better position to get education and degrees and took men out the homes and whatnot. And so like has society kind of like forced the verses? Like, yes, but I still don't think it's an excuse for men not to show up.
I agree. Society and the way things are working, they want to, like, men and women need each other.
That's
You know,
it.
that's just what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So like I don't like the rhetoric of, when people going around saying, would you rather be stuck with a man or a bear? And then the women's are saying a bear, and it's like a bear will fucking eat you. So like, and I get it. There are a lot of like strange people out there,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So I 100% get it. So therefore, sometimes if you had some past trauma, you don't want to really relive that again by messing with somebody that can possibly bring it. However, if we understood that us being together and not divided is a lot more powerful unit, I think society would be a lot better off instead of like us bickering, going back and forth. I hate seeing, all the women don't do this, men don't do this. There's people that's not gonna be able to do what you want, and there's people that's gonna be able to do what you want. Go to where you're celebrated, not tolerated. Go to where you're liked. That's just what it comes down to at the end of the day. So, I don't like all this sassy man, broke bitch, apocalypse. We all need each other at the end of the day. Just find your people.
Man and female, right? And all races. Like, I hate this whole divided thing. You know, I hate people
Yep.
like, oh yeah, I can't mess with that person because da 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 da, or this particular group of people is X, Y, and Z. Like, you're humans, man. And once everybody wakes up to that and realize like we all need each other, and what's happening today, like has nothing to do with how you. It was what happened in the past has nothing to do with how you should treat people today. Like everybody's just out here trying to make it for real. Everybody, like, like I don't think I don't think that's a hard concept to understand. Like we all trying to get ahead. We all need each other. And the moment we realize that and start dividing each other, like we'll all be better off.
Yeah.
Facts.
All right.
So Pooh Shiesty.
Yeah.
Pooh Shiesty.
Let's
Yeah.
go into
So
Pooh Shiesty.
Shiesty,
You want to do it? Or you want me to?
You know more about it. I just got to respond. To it.
So, all right,
Yeah.
Pooh Shiesty's back in jail again. So if you didn't know, Pooh Shiesty was a rapper who did like 7 years. I think
just
7
came
years,
home.
and he just did 7 years on federal charges for I think guns and things of that nature. So he's been home less than 6 months, and reportedly he's back in jail for a lot of things. So basically, what was reported was that Pooh Shiesty and a couple of members from his crew basically kidnapped, robbed, and pistol whipped Gucci Man, which is crazy, which is fucking crazy. Excuse my language, but yeah, he basically just came home, and from my understanding, the backstory was he was trying to get himself out of the deal that he had with Gucci. So reportedly, Gucci was kidnapped, robbed, and pistol whipped, and he had him for some time. Not sure how he escaped or anything, but
And he had somebody else with him.
Reportedly, the driver of Gucci was the one that told federal agents, and that's what allegedly kind of made Pooh Shiesty go back to jail. So, Kay, thoughts?
Yo, there's always somebody more gangster than you out there, more tougher, more stronger. You know what I mean? This we live in that type of society. When we grew up, like Gucci Man was the gangster. You
Word.
know what I'm saying? But now he's an old head, unfortunately. And like I said, I don't know all the details, whatever, but clearly that nigga was upset. he pissed him off. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's definitely one of those simple conversations. Like I said, I wasn't there, but let me out my contract. Nah, you got to fulfill your contract. Da, da, da. Like, yo, you gave me a bullshit contract. X, Y, and Z. I want out. Now we got to meet the terms. Oh, we can't meet the terms. All right, now I got to kidnap your ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like that escalated, knowing their personalities. Not I don't know them, but just knowing the way based off the way they rap, like you either about it or you not. You know what I'm saying? And if Pooh actually just did 7 joints, like he's still got that mentality, like nigga, you owe.
Right.
Like you owe me, bro. I just came home, I ain't got nothing to lose, bro. And it's hard dealing with people like ain't got
That's
nothing
like
to
that.
lose.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's
so
one of
Gucci
the worst people you want to work
deal
with.
with, right? So Gucci Man has done time too. So naturally, I just think those personalities clashed, and Pooh Shiesty got the better of Gucci. Like, and do I believe it was a shady deal? I mean, I believe most music industry deals are shady at some point or another. And that's just my personal preference. Like, y'all can believe what y'all want, how y'all feel about that, but nigga, when I heard TLC was broke, and they was the number one group for 7 years or something like that, and they was broke at the Grammys, splitting their hearts out to people, talking about, yeah, we won all these Grammys, but we ain't got no money. Our contracts is messed up. Like they've been doing this. Like anybody that Diddy has ever had a contract with, you just hear it too often for it not to be true. And Gucci Man fucked around and found out that Pooh Shiesty ain't the one to do that with.
Yeah. I think it's unfortunate, but it says a lot about the times we in. And this shit's going crazy. It says a lot about the times we in, where people are basically resorting to extreme violence in order to get their way. Says a lot. This shit would have never happened 10, 15 years ago on this scale, right? Where, I mean, what makes the difference is also social media, right? So I'm sure stuff like this was happening before, but it wasn't like publicized
People
the
were
way
dying.
it is. And then like the way like what you just talked about, like Gucci Man in high school and in college, Gucci Man was like it was that dude for real. So like that
Yeah, I
was
know the
something that
Gucci
people
and
would
Jeezy beef.
that was something that people wasn't even
People
attempting
died.
to try.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So that, like I said, just the fearlessness of the generation that we have now, it says a lot about the times. I don't know all the full story of it, but it is unfortunate. And like you said, Kay, like a lot of the contracts that artists do sign really are BS. Like, and I get it. You coming from the hood or you coming from not favorable things
Conditions.
around you,
Yeah, for sure.
and you sign a contract with a major artist that sold records before and got a lot of notoriety in the street, and a lot of people know Gucci, so people gonna gravitate towards his label. But he probably just exercised some of the same things that was probably done to him
That
with
part.
some of these contracts. So
Mhm.
that's all the game we know. Even I think Jim Jones even said it before too. He alluded to basically the bad contract he had with Max B. He was just like he only went off of the stuff that he known that was done to him or was done around him or done at the time he was doing it too. So that's all he knew. So, but it's important for an artist to kind of like educate yourself on the terms and conditions of some of these contracts. They literally wrap you up in a 360 deal, have you doing 5-6 albums, and when it's all said and done, you don't have any publishing, no masters, you don't have anything to show of any ownership of the product you put out there.
Mm-hmm.
And only person you can be mad at is yourself. You can try to get mad at the label, but they're a machine, so they're gonna keep running however they run. There's gonna be 1,000 other like you. So it's important. So I understand why people go in the independent route. I understand why people are trying to do it themselves. Because there's a lot of like shady business deals that's going on. And this is just unfortunate. This is just unfortunate. I didn't really listen to Pooh Shiesty like that. But his music. I heard a few joints, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he definitely one of the people that brought back the ski mask, right? So
For sure.
so from that, it's just unfortunate that those two people are going through that, and I'm hoping that some type of resolution can come about it, and nobody really gets hurt if they didn't already. So, but yeah, it's unfortunate.
You know what I want to get into?
Which part?
The Democrats talking about reparations.
Oh, yes. So, is this no, we don't have that as a video.
I can pull it though.
All right, so basically, we're gonna show you this video. You guys can make your decision on it. Here it goes.
Reparations.
We also need offensive actions around prosecutions. We need real accountability, because at the end of the day, the people that have been inflicting this harm need to be prosecuted. They need to be brought before us, and they need to be held account for the trauma that they have created, and we are going to have some form of reparation for the kids and the families that have been traumatized through all of this.
What's your thoughts?
Fuck you, me, bro. Like, y'all niggas is out your mind. Like, both parties have they like downsides and everything, right? But like when you talk about reparations for a group of people that are not even here legally, you're out of your mind, bro. Like, black people ain't even get reparations from Obama, from nobody. Like, we ain't get ours yet, but you're gonna give the next nigga ours. And here's the problem which y'all don't see. Like, they're literally trying to, the government, talking about they're literally trying to replace their voting group with illegal immigrants, right? And that's why there's been a big push to get illegal immigrants out, right? Because when you think about it, like, this shit gets deep. Like, I'm about to go down a little bit of rabbit hole, right? So they want to give them reparations, right? What happens when you give them reparations? When you give them all those social services, you give them free daycare, you give them money, you give them food stamps, you give them a place to live. Like, all those things alone will ultimately get them to want to vote a certain way, right? Because, oh yeah, I came here, the Republicans ain't give me all that free stuff, but you got tens and millions, damn near 20 million or more people coming in and getting all this free stuff. Of course they're gonna vote for a certain party. And then, but the bigger issue is, like, it's not just illegals either. Like, it's been happening to us, because you think about, you go in the black neighborhoods and all that shit, think about who really owns it. The Americans don't own that. The foreigners do. The Arabs get all the delis now. Before it was the Dominicans and shit like that, And that's not, because most of them, but at the time, the Dominicans lived in the neighborhood though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like, that was a different situation. Like, they weren't like foreigners per se, but like nowadays, all the foreigners, they get the housing loans, they get the business loans, they get start the company, start the daycares. You know what I mean? In California and what you've seen in Minnesota and all that. Why are all the foreigners getting the deals in the business loans before the Americans, bro? It's a tax incentives for the government. All these people, all these places, they get incentivized. And then even when you're talking down like to the housing part, like, what do you think is happening in housing? When illegals come in, they get subsidized from the government, right? And they go apply for whatever company, and I'm not gonna say any company in particular, because I've actually been in situations where I've actually had to prioritize an illegal immigrants' application because they had the subsidies. It wasn't they weren't prioritizing illegals. They were prioritizing the subsidy. It just so happened
They was the ones that
it was
popped up,
one and
yeah.
the same. You know what I mean? So boom, they like, oh yeah, we need those government. Most businesses or housing companies, they'll be like, oh yeah, let me get that government subsidy because that's guaranteed money at the end of the month. And guess who not knocks off the list? Whatever American or whatever person was up next. You know, so it's nasty, but like no effing way, bro. No effing way should they get any reparations. Like what? And then before Black Americans, like nah, I'm not jacking that.
I feel like I had this conversation with somebody before, and it was just like, if I was a black person, this is a white person, they said I'll be mad because they felt like they said I feel like a lot of groups surpass you guys' rights. And
For sure.
we spoke freely. I'm not going to speak that freely of all the groups that surpassed us, but
Right.
if you haven't been living under a rock, you can kind of put two and two together of the people. Keep going.
Okay. Who else?
And
yeah, it's like
So-
we talk about the same groups.
So, so basically, like he was like, "Yo, I would be mad that a whole bunch of groups is passing you guys."
Again, they're getting all the businesses and, and the loans.
and yeah, so
They
it's
prioritize.
I think it's sad, how we prioritize different people over Americans, and then even within America, there's obviously you got Black Americans, you got Irish Americans, you got a whole bunch of different people, but we all know these are the people we are paying the American taxes, and we are paying all these tax money, and it's nothing really to show. We have literally nothing to show for it, and it's starting to get to a point where they were saying basically where they're gonna make things so expensive that you're gonna own nothing and be happy, and like nah, that's not the way. That's literally the opposite of the American dream. It's actually becoming an American nightmare because
Becoming socialism.
everything we doing, it costs more money, and it's like our jobs is not increasing the pay, so people have to find different ways to get money. It's just unfortunate, but don't look for the government to help you. Help the people that's around you. You create your own networks and create your own communities, and help the people that's around you, and then within your community you could all help each other, and your community could be a thriving one. And we see that happening in Pittsburgh. Obviously, is some stuff with that too, but I feel like Black Pittsburgh, for the most part, they definitely it's a circuit of people that kind of share resources and kind of help each other for the most part. You know what I mean? So.
And I think even that needs to be a little bit more diverse, man. Because to my point earlier, we all need each other.
Mm-hmm.
We all need each other one way or another to get ahead.
I understand.
It doesn't.
But
come down to
we
certain
all
things.
see that what's going on. So it's I think it is good that they come together some way, some form. So all
That's
right,
a fact. But yeah, clip that. That's a dub, man. Y'all clip
that's
all the
crazy.
way out. I got another one. So did you know child marriage is legal in 34 states? States with no minimum age. Just a few. Cali, Mississippi, New Mexico, Oklahoma. And they can get married with parental consent and judicial approval, right? That's 34. That's more than half by far. That's like 60-40 damn near at this point, right? 16 states with bans, with complete bans. It's mostly everything northeast, you know what I'm saying? PA, New York,
Delaware, Vermont, CT, New
Vermont.
Hampshire, Massachusetts,
You know what I'm saying?
Jersey.
Virginia.
Okay.
Again, there are 16 other states, and 315,000 children were married from 20 to 21. Sources is Unchained at last. Can you believe that? Did you know that?
Nah, I didn't. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I didn't realize you can marry a kid.
Yeah, so
that's-
the report said that it's typically
why would you wanna do
anywhere
that, though?
from
That's kinda
15 to
weird.
17 on average, but that doesn't stop a 12-year-old from being married.
So is it minors marrying each other or
Nah, this is
some other
grown
shit?
ass men marrying children.
Yeah,
And we over here arguing about all stupid shit in the world, and we don't even got the basics down in 34 states. Like,
yeah, I ain't really got much to say. Well, because that's kind of alarming. That's alarming. It's alarming.
Sick.
What's crazy about that statistic is they doing shit right under our noses. A whole bunch of like weird illegal shit. Well, obviously it's not legal in 30-something states.
Right.
Technically, right? But it's weird and it's like it's inhumane. Like, why are you marrying a kid? Like, what makes you this?
Creeps.
There's so many beautiful women in the world,
That part.
right? In all shapes and listen. Let me tell you something, bro.
Get you a young little
Listen.
22-year-old,
Listen very
25-year-old tenderoni.
No, just listen to me very carefully. There's a whole bunch of different women in all shapes, sizes, flavors, you name it.
That part.
Above age, above 25, above whatever, that you can have something your age. And if you want something, say you want something 23. All right, cool, no problem. You don't have to resort to looking at a kid. I feel like I remember when you used to see the older dude pick up the high school girl back in high school. The dude be like damn near 20-something picking up a 15, 16-year-old. We used to see that.
Pedophilish for real.
That is crazy to me.
Yeah, we seen that.
And like that, obviously that was like normalized, but like that shit should never been normalized. That's
a problem.
that's not good. That's not good. But a lot of stuff is happening right under our noses and we're not even seeing it. They distract us from all the other crap that's going on. We just was talking about a sassy man apocalypse and all this other stuff that's
irrelevant.
That's really not going to matter in the future. When they doing weird shit like this.
Mm-hmm. And 300,000, and this is 5 years ago, so we late to this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that many kids or kids under the age of 8, people or children under the age of 18. Like, come on, like what are we doing? That should be like a federal law. That shouldn't be up to the states to decide what's legal and what's not on that part. Like, yeah, like I know we gotta. We all in foreign affairs, and like I don't agree with everything, you know. But the first thing I do agree with is we got to take care of home first, and we got to make sure like this is not happening to kids, and yeah, it just can't go that way, yo.
You got to protect the kids, man.
That's all we got.
Kids are so vulnerable.
Yeah.
We got to protect the kids, yo. Like it's no ifs, ands, or but about. This is one of the reasons why I pursued education. I worked in juvenile probation for years, and I seen how the system was doing our kids. I went to education to educate them on what not to do. And I guess that part was, I was going to bring it to another topic, but I went into education to help the kids see the light at the end of the tunnel. A lot of times kids don't really have, like, there's some kids that don't really care about school. They don't think school's gonna matter for them, but I feel like they always just need that one teacher, that one staff that care for them and gave them the game that they never had before that can help them in the future. That's one of the people I'm trying to be.
Yeah.
And I feel like I touch a lot of lives in the schools I've been in, and hopefully going forward with the positions that, you know, I'm grasping for, I can continue to change lives. But no, like it's important. Like, you know, people gotta educate themselves, and you know, I guess that brings me on to
have to educate their kids.
That brings me on to like the state of education in America.
You know what's funny? You know, like I'm pretty sure your opinion has changed, but I don't know if you remember the conversation we had about Trump wanting to ban or dismantle the Department of Education. So being how you felt from back then, saying that, yo, he's going to break this down, how do you feel today about it? Like, And do you think it should be broken down?
My feelings has not changed much, but I know here's the thing: when you know what people game plan is from the beginning, it kind of shifts your thing because the Department of Education was created by the Rockefeller Foundation in order to keep people as factory workers. And basically just workers, right? Worker bees, they call it, right? So everything that goes against somebody that's a free thinker, a critical thinker, it really is not push prevalent, excuse me, in school. So the state of education today, what I wanted to discuss was how people basically lost the interest to just learn, but also the curriculum that is being taught is not conducive to the society of kids we have today. They pushing a whole bunch of like digital stuff on the kids, and kids don't really understand it as much, and it's pushing a whole bunch of. It's easy for people to do a test with pen and paper, but when you do it online, it's a different level of anxiety that people have when they have to do it online, and some of these kids are not really equipped to handle some of the rigor of the instruction that's going on because it's not being taught on a consistent basis. You can't ask a kid to do algebra 2 work and they only know fractions, right? So we have to kind of like, for me, I work in special ed, emotional support, one of the toughest fields to work in, right? And I'm not saying that because I want to pat on my back. I did it because I want to help these kids. I see where these kids can go. So for me, I feel like for emotional support, these kids that I work with, they need a different kind of curriculum. They need a curriculum that's going to help them with some of the stuff for school, but also give them the tools they need to...
Facts of life.
The tools they need for outside of school, right? So they need on-the-job training. They need to learn emotional intelligence. This is all things I said before. So when it comes to like the dismantling of the Department of Education, I don't feel like they're going to do what's best for the kids. They're going to do what's best for the lobbyists and the people that has a direct interest with the money supply on how things are supposed to go.
Well, they say currently now, or back at least a year or two ago, most of the funds in the budget was not for the Department of Ed. It was not being used for actual education. It was just used for administrative stuff. So, like, yeah, you have a whole bunch of people working around a building acting like they doing something, but that's just the only reason the budget is getting bigger. And, like, none of the money is actually going into buying new books.
I'm not 100% sure if that's all accurate, but like, that may be true. But at the end of the day,
I mean, regardless, how many schools are still using chalkboards? Like, why is there not raised boards?
A lot of schools is not using that. But what I want to say is,
but the technology should be invested into those classrooms. More computers, more technology, tech, AI stuff. You know what I mean? They should all have.
But they also should be training around that too. So you can place things in the area and say, "Yo, y'all can use this." But if there's no training behind it for the educators,
I'm just talking about books. Drive, raised boards, air conditioners.
It's not as bad as you think.
You know what I'm saying?
I can say that.
You know what I'm saying?
Air conditioners, yeah, but
like some of the basics, a lot of schools don't even have the basics.
So like that all depends on the school district. I feel like at the end of the day, a school should be equipped to be self-sufficient, so they should be given everything. But we know that schools is going to be, some schools is going to be marginalized, some schools is going to get stuff, some schools is not. That's just the way the system was designed. So if you see a kid that is struggling in any which way as an educator, pull them to the side, help them as best as you can, and then help all your students as best as you can. We are in a fight where we're probably not going to win because the deck is stacked against us as educators, but you got to do what you got to do and try to pull out the brilliance of these kids as best as you can. And yeah, I think it's just unfortunate, the state of education at the moment. All right, so
my bad, I got to text the contract.
It's all good. So let's do one more, and then we're gonna roll. So
psychedelics are illegal.
yeah, I wanna watch that again before we talk about that. But we can talk about Jaden Ivey, or you want to talk about the
No, we talked about basketball now.
Yeah. All right. So, well, let's do this then. How dangerous is a wishy-washy person?
A fake, a phony. Nah, you can't trust them. You can't even trust a fast talker, bro. Like, I hate to say it, man. I'm not gonna say who I'm talking about, but you're gonna know who I'm talking about. Like, yeah, anybody that talks too fast and talks too slick should automatically raise a red flag to anybody. Like, I don't care who they are, what they represent, how they move. Oh, he's a cool person and all that. Like, slick is slick, bro. Like, I don't care. Like, yeah, they may be cool, but best to believe, yo, I'm watching your ass. You feel me? I'm watching you, bro. Like, I don't know who you think you're going to hustle, nigga, but I've heard it all before, bro. I've seen it, dealt with it, experienced it, all of that. You know what I mean? You name it, I've seen it. Almost damn near. I mean, there's a lot of still living my life, but like for a majority of the stuff, I've seen it all. You know what I mean? I'm a hustler. You just a good-looking, fly, suited up hustler. And you know how to talk slick. You know what I mean? Like, but I still got my eye on you, bro. Yeah, and I think that's dangerous because you just never know what their intent is, their motives, or what they got lined up under their sleeves and whatnot. Like, it's just like, if I got to think too much about, like, if I got to read too much of in between the line stuff, then I got to pack you up, bro. You be cool, but I got to pack you up. You know what I mean? Stay away.
I feel like a wishy-washy person is like, that's one of the, between them and like the friend that's like hating on you the whole time, those would be the
Low
ones.
Key at that.
So I feel like you can see a wishy-washy person, like, and this is like not even just with like same, like, you know, like you my nigga or whatever, right? So it's like, you know, I'm not just talking about that, but like wishy-washy with like you know, intimate relationship. You know what I'm saying? You have somebody that, you know, that likes you on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but come, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they like real standoffish. So I feel like it's always important to, my mother taught me this, it's best to see somebody by not looking at them. When you looking at somebody,
they're gonna be suited
they're gonna
up
be all
proper.
they're gonna be all perfect and everything gonna be good.
That's
They're gonna be
trust.
saying things the right way, make you feel the right way. But when you you know, when you paying attention to them but not looking at them directly, some of their true color show. You know what I'm saying? So it's always best to have somebody that is a real enemy, so you know you could be on point with them. Right? If you have an enemy that you know you don't bang with them, y'all both know y'all don't bang with each other, y'all gonna be more on point. The people that line you the most is the ones that's cool with you but secretly hating, and the ones that's wishy-washy. Yeah, that's all the time. So that's important because those will be the ones that really line you up. And you got your guard down, you think everything's good, and this, that, and the third, because this person is good, and those be the ones to get you in any which way. So yeah, you wishy-washy, you fake, you talk stuff behind my back or anything like that, stay away from me, or you will get hurt.
Yeah, man. It's also not good for your not your karma, but your energy and your spirit, you know, just to be around people who got hidden agendas. Now, everybody got something up their sleeve, but we talking about those particular ones, you know what I mean? Like, if they give you that gut feeling, like, oh, that makes me uneasy, listen to your gut, yo. Like, don't ever don't think that that's not real or that feeling isn't real. So stay safe, stay dangerous. You know what I mean? I always tell my people that, like, that's real life stuff. Like, people be out here, people are crazy, man, and it's nasty work out here everywhere. And the moment that you think it can't be you, it's gonna be you. It's your turn. Everybody gets a turn. Unfortunately, everybody gets a turn at that phony people. There's someone always got somebody up their sleeve, and they see you as a weak person, they take advantage of that shit too. They take advantage of that kindness for weakness. So
Stereo too, man.
You already know.
Oh, that was good.
Like 10 toes down. No, yeah, that was real quick, in and out, 1, 2. jab, jab, hook. You know what I mean? Got up out of there. Jab, jab, weave, hook. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Uppercut, cross, whole lot.
Yeah, so we got just more topics dropping on y'all. So more clips, more news, more entertainment. Yeah, we just out here rocking out, man. We holding down the studio. This our shit. This is our shit. You know what I mean? And whoever see this and be like, oh, I know where they at. Nah, you know, but it ain't yours. You know what I mean? This is literally our shit. We taking over now. You know. We love the setup.
Wall of Fame.
Love the energy. You know, yeah, they gonna start. Oh yeah, we seen your podcast. Y'all doing X, Y, and Z. Yeah, that's our studio.
Yeah.
Come through the Culture Content studio. Watch, next time we're gonna have this whole joint Culture Content. They gonna be like, yo, where they do that at? Yeah, heard you. Like, get with it.
On that note,
can't even do it. But I was thinking about really hanging something up. But yeah, I'm Kay.
I'm Chaz.
Yeah, Culture Content, baby. Like, it is a wrap.
Holla.
So, yeah,